In EastEnders, Jay Brown grapples with Nadine's pregnancy lie, finding solace in Stevie Mitchell. Stevie teams up with Lexi Pierce to expose Nadine, who had faked her pregnancy. Jay, initially believing in the possibility of family, confronts Nadine. Meanwhile, Bobby Brazier teases Big Mo's return, and BBC's Peter Levy warns of scams. First look at Jay Brown's post-discovery of Nadine's deception in EastEnders. Stevie Mitchell provides an unforeseen solace. A preview of Jay Brown's reaction after learning that Nadine had lied about her pregnancy may be seen on EastEnders. Preview images from the week's last episode, which airs on Thursday, depict Jay receiving unexpected solace from Stevie Mitchell while he struggles to accept the truth. Together with Lexi Pierce, the reappearance of Stevie revealed Nadine had been wearing a false baby bump the entire time, dispelling her claims of being pregnant with Jay's child. When Lexi spotted Nadine drinking last week, she had a sneaking suspicion that she wasn't telling the truth. However, when Lexi came out with her accusation, Jay begged her to apologize. But when Stevie admitted that Nadine had tried to buy him silence, that was when she finally got the evidence. Afterwards, he revealed the truth to Nadine in front of the family. The actor Jamie Borthwick, who plays Jay, had previously acknowledged that he didn't suspect Nadine at first because he wanted to think he could start a family. "We all know Jay, he's a good man," as Perry Fenwick, Billy, calls him, a good man, so he certainly lives up to responsibility, he stated. "I think he's sucked into this dream, he buys into it, he absolutely has no reason to not believe, so he's all for it, and he steps up when called upon because he is a good man." It's unclear if Stevie's exposure of Nadine will result in his family and him getting back together. Billy Mitchell, Stevie's son, and Phil Mitchell, his relative, have both previously declined to accept him back into the family. Tomorrow, BBC One and BBC iPlayer will premiere these brand new scenes starring Stevie and Jay. Bobby Brazier teases Big Mo's return to EastEnders with a TikTok soap opera. The soap star claimed that he and Layla Morse, who portrays his great-grandmother in EastEnders, had a lot in common. What was it that you overlooked? Bobby Brazier has shared information on Layla Morse's comeback to EastEnders in the role of Big Mo. He describes how the two of them collaborated to create a unique episode that would be accessible on TikTok. After taking a break for the Strictly Live tour, Brazier, who is also reprising his role as her great-grandson Freddie Slater, remarked that his acting style and Morse's are a wonderful combination. Morse is the most iconic character to return to the BBC One serial opera. He also mentioned how his father Jeff Brazier has been assisting him with his training for his impending Soccer Aid debut. Why, what, and how? Over the past year, EastEnders has been welcomed back a number of fan favorites, and Layla Morse as Big Mo is the most recent to join the ensemble. Bobby Brazier, who took a break from the BBC One soap opera to participate in the Strictly Come Dancing live tour, expressed his joy at working with Morse, who portrays Freddie Slater's great-grandmother, on the One show. He commented on Morse, "She is, I don't want to say a handful, she's great, she's a bundle of energy." Host Jermaine Jenas brought up the fact that he had just termed her a handful, to which Brazier responded, "But me too, which is why I like working with her, we bring out something good in each other." In addition, Brazier mentioned that their acting approaches were similar, saying, "I like to freestyle my lines and we don't always get away with that, but she does because she's just known for that, so whenever I'm on set with her I know that I can take the mickey." Perhaps it's less of a confidence thing and more of a, "I haven't learned my lines" thing, Brazier said in response to Jenna's observation that he sounded confident in his position. The actor also discussed a TikTok episode that starred Big Mo and Freddie and was previously recorded as a soap opera. He remarked, "I suppose it's a nod to Freddie and Mo sharing a caravan, and I'm pulling practical jokes on her and generally acting goofy, much like Freddie would have with his great-grandmother." That day was quite humorous. What other events occurred on the One show? Brazier talked about the upcoming Soccer Aid event, where he will be participating in the charity match as a member of the England celebrity team for the first time. When asked if there had been any pressure during training from his father Jeff Brazier, a football player in the 1990s and early 2000s, Brazier replied, "Not even a bit. Major pressure. He's making every effort to get me to 5A side and the gym, but I believe he's just trying to survive off of me. He was our coach growing up," Brazier continued. Rebel Wilson joined him on the One Show's sofa and mentioned that she was excited to watch the Australian women's team, the Matildas, compete in the Olympics in Paris. She also acknowledged that she enjoyed the Ryan Reynolds documentary Welcome to Wrexham, which followed his football career in the UK. Weekdays at 7 p.m, BBC One broadcasts The One Show. Olivia in EastEnders, who is she? Alina Allison's previous roles were disclosed during her BBC debut. After weeks of rumors regarding her identity, actress Alina Allison made her BBC soap opera debut on Wednesday night, introducing audiences to new character Olivia. On Wednesday night, EastEnders viewers witnessed a fresh face in Walford as Olivia's true identity was finally revealed. However, who is she and who is the actor portraying the Nadine Keller-related character? On Wednesday's episode, Olivia appeared in scenes with Nadine, and on Monday, her name appeared on Nadine's phone. Olivia's motivations for being in Walford were made clear, along with their shared past, and she demanded money. Actress Alina Allison plays Olivia in this soap opera. It's also one of her first major TV parts. Alina made a one-time appearance in an episode of Casualty in February of this year. Her other credits include several TV shows and short films, such as Punch, in which she co-starred with Jamie Lomas and Kirsten Waring, another EastEnder who portrayed Kirsty Branning on the BBC soap opera. It happens as Nadine is deceiving Jay Brown to get money from him since she owes Olivia money. At first, many thought Olivia was just Emma Harding going by a false identity. The late Lola Pierce's mother, Emma, was believed by some to have conspired with Nadine to deceive Jay or to get custody of Lola's daughter Lexi Pierce. Although it appears that this is not the case at this point, rumors that Emma would be making a comeback and that a twist was in store were aroused by a recent photo of Emma actor Patsy Kensit and Nadine star Jazzy Phoenix. Regarding Nadine, the character's demise may result from her secret being revealed regarding her fictitious pregnancy and her deception of Jay. But if she can't afford to pay back everything she owes, will she get into trouble? Not only has Nadine joined Olivia on the soap opera recently, but Stevie Mitchell has also arrived and left his family in disarray. Fans are certain that Stevie is up to no good when he hinted to his estranged son Billy that he was eager to make apologies. However, Stevie may be hiding something himself. A BBC singer pleads with listeners to exercise caution after falling for a traumatic fraud that robbed him his life savings. Richard Stead was informed by BBC Radio Humberside reporter Peter Levy that he was the victim of a fraud earlier this year, which left him sleep-deprived for many days. After losing half of his life money to fraud, Peter Levy, the presenter for BBC Radio Humberside, urged listeners to exercise caution. The 68-year-old TV and radio host admitted to Richard Stead that he was the victim of a fraud earlier this year, which kept him up for many days. Peter wrote that the incident occurred in early February and is still being sorted out. He described it as traumatic. It is the most horrific feeling, he stated. It's utterly horrible, you feel thick, foolish, and it occurred in February, and the situation is still being resolved. I visited a bank this afternoon for lunch. It's terrible, so it's worse when people discuss the scams. Peter and Richard continued their conversation by talking about the risks associated with having common passwords for all of your internet accounts, like Peter 123. To be honest, I have the same for everything, Peter finally said. I do not use Peter 1234, there are far better options, but it is still the same thing, so avoid doing that. But how do you recall all that was different? Next, Richard clarified how some phones recommend practical passwords to use. Peter continued, it is so traumatizing and upsetting, after talking about how many other individuals are experiencing the same thing. It's terrible. You're unable to do anything and sleep. You feel powerless, and I got caught up in something. It was almost 7 o'clock at night, and this is definitely someone to keep an eye on. When they call, they say things like, this is Richard Stead Bank's fraud department. A strange behavior has been observed on your account. Have you spent the last hour spending £500? No, I haven't spent £500 in the last hour, I said. I have been working. The con artists then requested that Peter access his bank account so they could do some security checks. He fell for it severely, despite having conducted numerous interviews and conversations on scammers. There are scams going on right now, and this is a good one to remember, he declared. Once more, I have to slightly reduce it. This is what the bank informed me a few weeks ago. You want to scan the app on the wall when you enter a public parking lot and there is a queue for the pay machine. Because those are being used for scams, avoid doing it. Avoid using the app on the wall, wait in queue and be patient. Please subscribe our channel.